Today's eMoney tip of the week is on unclassified accounts. As you get more and more of your clients to start using the aggregation feature that's available inside the client portal inside of eMoney, you're going to start to notice that when they attach some of their accounts, assets are going to come in unclassified. Depending on the data feed that you see, this might be a mutual fund just doesn't bring in its ticker symbol, or an exchange traded fund doesn't bring in a ticker symbol, it brings in the name and it brings in the balance. So the system's going to show it as unclassified. This also is really common with sub-accounts inside of variable annuities because those sub-accounts won't attach to the Morningstar data feed that it's using inside here to classify. So let's look at a sample here. So we have our sample client, Pam and Jim Helper. We're going to click on the facts and we're going to go down here to asset allocation. There's multiple ways you can get to this. This is where we like to go to find this, because we are always trying to stay in the basic facts as much as possible. One of the reasons why we do this is because that's what you're going to be in front of a client, so you really want to know your way around the system here. One of the things we're going to do when we meet with a client is we're always going to want to go in and look at the data we have. So we get the habit of always looking at this asset allocation. One of the things our team always wants to have is our recommended asset allocation in here, which that's for another tip. But you're going to notice right here this giant yellow window. You can't help but notice this. It says this client has unclassified holdings. So we're going to click on this View Unclassified Holdings, and it's going to pull up every single unclassified asset that you can see. You're going to notice that this is a report. It's a holdings report. So you can also go to a holdings report to access this. And this particular client, we're going to see it's the Invesco Stable Trust. Well, one of the things that we know is this is a money market. So you could go and you can look up the ticker, or you could just go, in this case, we're not even going to bother doing that. We're just going to go ahead and put this, we know this is a cash for us, what we want to have saved for this client. It will save this, and now when we go back to the facts for this client, and we come under our asset allocation, you're going to notice there's no alert up here. You're going to notice that there's no alert up here. Another way you can test for this is we always look at this pie chart, and you're going to notice that anytime that there's red in here, that's other assets. So we can tell this client has other assets. There might be from time to time a reason for that, but that's also a telltale sign. Another way you can go to access this information is you can go to Reports, All Reports. You're going to want to go to the Investments Report. When you pull up this investment report, you're going to notice that there's a column for unclassified. Now you might say, Greg, we just sat there with this particular client and we went through and reclassified everything that came up as unclassified. Why is there still something in here that says unclassified? The reason why was that was a connected holding, and that connected holding was alerted in the system. So this is just another way to look for unclassified investments. So we can go to this particular account and we can go look at what's inside of here. So we're going to click back on facts, and we're going to go right down to net worth. There's many ways to access this. Again, we try to stay as much in the simple facts as we possibly can. And we're going to come right down to this account that we saw that was unclassified, and we're going to now go to advanced. You can go in advanced to get here. We always like to go into basic facts on our team. And once you come in here, you can go to holdings, and we can see that this is an unclassified holding. We can always go here to make changes. And this is because the client in this particular case input this in here. There's no data feed with this particular account. If there was a data feed and it was shown unclassified, it would show up under that alert. It's really important that you try to classify as many assets as possible. Whenever it's an unclassified asset, it's going to default to whatever you have as your unclassified default setting. eMoney defaults to CPI, which is going to show a very low rate of return. So for example, in this case, if you have a client that has a 529 plan account, and they're going to have this in a pretty aggressive investment account for their children that are pretty young, it's really going to throw off some of the goals and assumptions inside of eMoney. It's really important that we have great data feed to have great data output. We hope this tip helped educate and empower you to do more plans for your clients so that you can impact more lives through financial planning. If you have some great tips we don't know about, we'd love to hear about them. If you have a better way of doing what we just showed you, we'd love to hear about that, because we are a noble profession and together we can elevate the profession.